You're watching Color 10 News at 10 in high definition.
Frightening. That's how the head of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce describes the effects of a possible troop drawdown at Fort Leonard Wood. I'm Ashley Katz.
Hello again, everybody. I'm David Oliver. Good to have you along. Now, we first reported the Army's proposal for you last night. And tonight, new at 10, Kevin Schwaller went to Lebanon, where that's about 50 minutes away from the fort. Kevin, what could happen in that area?
According to communities, Laclede County could lose millions in sales. It could lose 1,200 people from its population. Under the most drastic cuts from the Army, the fort would lose 3,900 personnel. It's all part of a National Army restructuring as it looks at needs and demands over the next several years.
Go ahead and take it out. We'll send it out in the basket.
When you think of a possible drawdown at Fort Leonard Wood, Dowd's Catfish and Barbecue probably isn't the first place to come to mind.
Any special recipe? Of course. You gonna share it with us? Nope.
Still here, nearly 40 miles away from the fort in Lebanon,
Maddie, you want to run this real quick?
Brian Hobbs' restaurant could take a significant hit.
It's everything. It's my entire life.
We asked him what would happen without fort business.
We'd make it, but we'd have to do some drastic cuts. We'd have to cut labor. We might even go down to not being open 7 days a week.
The most severe action by the Army would cut permanent personnel by about 40% at Fort Leonard Wood.
You can just throw that fish in a basket, Ash.
Which could mean fewer catfish dinners here. It's not just this place. The Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce estimates that Laclede County would lose about $22 million if these full cuts go through.
These numbers are frightening.
Frightening.
Yeah, absolutely frightening.
Daryl Pollock has called the Ozarks home since before he could legally drive. He says the maximum drawdown would be taking away more than troops.
A major setback for a 10-year setback for a community and the size of Lebanon and Laclede County.
He says Laclede County alone will lose more than 625 jobs.
It's the best thing on the menu.
Catfish.
At Dowd's, even the customers realize what it would mean to have fewer personnel at the fort.
I think it'd be a crying shame. It hurts the economy quite a bit here.
And the businesses that feed hungry soldiers less than an hour down the road. Now, this is not immediate, and the Army has not made a final decision about what to do at the fort. The Army is supposed to carry out the drawdown nationally of about 80,000 active duty troops by the end of the 2017 fiscal year.
Kevin, thanks. Tonight, new at 10, National Guard soldiers from Springfield return home tomorrow. There's going to be a welcome home ceremony for the Missouri's 935th Aviation Support Battalion. More than 130 members have been in Kuwait working on aviation and vehicle maintenance, medical operations, ammunition distribution, and communications. Ceremony begins at 1:30 tomorrow at Remington's Entertainment Complex here in Springfield.
Well, the shorts and flip-flops weather, it looks like it's coming to an end. Jamie Warner is tracking some major changes tonight in the weather lab.
Indeed, yeah. It looks like we probably have about another 6 hours to enjoy the warm weather across most of the Ozarks, or at least along and north of I-44 until this front arrives. Here's a look, though, at the last day of warmth. One more day of 80s. That makes it all three this week where we've topped 80 degrees. In fact, hitting 81 this afternoon in Springfield. The average high 72, so well above normal, at least for the front half of this work week, but it's about to get a lot colder. The cold front is just now beginning to enter our northwestern counties, and it will slowly make its way southeast overnight tonight, probably just south of I-44 by sunrise on Thursday. And looks like with this storm, with this front, most, if not all, of the shower or thunderstorm activity is actually going to occur along and behind that front. So I think for most of us, the rest of the night looking actually pretty quiet and mild for the time being. 65 right now in Springfield. We will wake up, though, with cloudy conditions, a chance for showers, maybe a thunderstorm early on, and then temperatures slowly dropping through the 40s, especially as we head through the afternoon. It'll be breezy as well with a chance for showers, and then a steady cold rain moves in Thursday night. Could change over to some snow for some by Friday morning.
Thanks, Jamie. New at 10, an Ozarks community is remembering the 10th anniversary of a violent tornado. A decade ago, an F3 twister ripped through Pierce City, wiping out the town's business district. This is a look at the aftermath. Things now have returned to normal, but it's been a difficult road. Pierce City's economy took a hit. After this storm, one building was left standing in the downtown area, and only a few business owners decided to keep their stores open. But former Mayor Mark Peters says it was the people that suffered the most.
No one is perfectly healed. I mean, there's still an extra reaction, a little more heartbeats when the storm sirens go off.
Peters believes the tornado brought some good to his beloved town, a better appreciation for neighbors.
Tonight, 3 more people are facing charges in connection to the Boston Marathon bombings. They are college friends of the surviving suspect and are accused of trying to cover it up for him. They appeared in federal court today. Now, in court documents, the FBI says the men visited the suspect's dorm 3 days after the bombing. They're accused of removing several items, including a backpack containing empty fireworks shells and a laptop computer. Investigators later found the backpack in a landfill. Of course, the bombs killed 3 people and hurt more than 260 others. So far, there's no confirmation that the 3 friends had any role in planning the attack.
Now, more local news. More men are filling jobs that are called pink collar. That means women traditionally held those positions. Many jobs lost during the recession were fields dominated by men, so the guys had to look elsewhere for work. And Jordan Eckmeyer is in the Marine Corps Reserves, but he's been the scheduling coordinator at the Greater Springfield Orthodontics for the last 6 months.
Usually when you think of a man's job, you think of hardworking, sweating outside, and then you think of kind of a woman as doing more of answering phones and paperwork and things like that. It's just, I guess, how I grew up thinking that.
This trend does not mean more men are taking jobs from women. The Bureau of Labor Statistics believes total employment is projected to grow by more than 14% this decade. That means more than 20 million new jobs. And traditionally, those pink-collar jobs, such as healthcare and front desk work, are expected to gain the most.
Tonight, new at 10, a Springfield teen has received a prestigious award tonight for her work with at-risk and homeless young adults. Our Laura Kennedy is here tonight with the story of the Central High School student who started a mentoring program at Rare Breed. That's a local youth center.
Thousands of kids have found a safe place to spend time at Rare Breed over the last 10 years. High school senior Nancy Fairbank made a student documentary about the center, and that inspired her to create the Teen to Teen Mentor Program. Hundreds of kids walk through the Rare Breed Youth Center doors every week. However, the center only has a handful of employees, running mostly with volunteers, like Central High senior Nancy Fairbank, who discovered the center in 2011 while working on a student documentary. Nancy's first visit to Rare Breed became much more than just a school project. It inspired her Teen to Teen Mentor Program.
I started the Teen to Teen program to allow high school students to have the opportunity to work with the youths here.
Volunteers from Central High visit Rare Breed every week to help out.
Typical volunteer day, sometimes we help organize food donations. We also can help supply and clean up the art room.
For Nancy, volunteering with the at-risk teenagers is a chance to create positive change in her community.
I see a huge impact because it kind of provides stable relationships and positive friendships.
But the impact reaches far beyond the lives of the teenagers that she helps.
I think there are a lot of things to learn from the Teen to Teen program. A big one for me personally was humility.
There's some caring and compassionate people still in this world, and they're young kids, and so it's great and gives me some hope.
For her work, Nancy is a finalist in the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. She's also writing a book about her experience with the teens at Rare Breed.
Their stories are absolutely phenomenal and really need to be shared.
When Nancy leaves Springfield for college in Dallas next year, the program will continue as her lasting legacy to the community. The other students taking over that program hope to expand it to other area high schools. The Teen to Teen volunteers have organized a talent show to raise money for a scholarship program they'd like to start, and that takes place Friday, May 17th at 6 p.m. at Central High School.
All right, Laura, thank you. Well, of the many things that the Ozarks are well known for, pizza usually doesn't come to mind.
But maybe it should.
It just has a really great atmosphere, great pizza, fresh ingredients. You really can't get much better.
Tonight in Oliver's Ozarks, the national honor for Reed Spring Pizza Company.
And you can sound off on this story and many others on the Color 10 Facebook page. Go to ozarksfirst.com and look for the Facebook icon.
Tonight, new at 10. People around the nation come to the Ozarks for a lot of reasons. The hills, local lakes, music, and these days, a taste of Italy. For the second time, a little pizza place in Reed Spring has garnered top honors in a national publication, and we stopped by for a slice to bring you this Oliver's Ozarks report. Very often, people driving through historic Reed Spring are pulling in for pizza.
A really great atmosphere, great pizza, fresh ingredients.
6 years ago, Paul and Flavie Lear opened the Reed Spring Pizza Company.
Well, neither one of us had ever been involved in food service. Research indicated that we were smart enough to do it, so we jumped in.
Early on, the couple tested out different pizza recipes on their friends to decide what worked well.
We have a pizza that has cashew on it, another one that has pecans. You know, we like things that are a little bit different.
Business was steady at first, but in 2010, USA Today named the pizza parlor the best in Missouri. Overnight, customer numbers doubled.
Oh my gosh. That week, we hired 4 people on the spot.
Pizza lovers from across the nation started coming to Reed Spring to try a pie, leaving behind their names and reviews on the walls.
We don't have much control of it anymore. Customers have taken over.
What's amazing is that on a busy night here at the Reed Spring Pizza Company, people are lined up outside to get in. To get in faster, they'll even help the staff roll the silverware.
We had not been used to waiting lines. We'd not been used to taking names and number and party.
The Lears are just happy their success has brought renewed life to a town that got bypassed by Highway 13.
This road that runs right in front of here, you know, a lot of times people began to bypass it, but I think the pizza company has really gotten people to come back and come through downtown Reed Spring and enjoy what it really has to offer.
You know, so it's just slowly reviving. It's artistic town, there's potters, there's music.
And popular pizza that could soon come out of an oven near you.
We think we will, in the next couple of years, put in a second location.
It is something down there. So again, this year, USA Today named the Reed Spring Pizza Company one of the best in the nation. Again, worth a detour off the beaten path here in Missouri. We should mention that Paul is the mayor of Reed Spring, has been for 8 years. He has a printing company, and he has for many years. So he's had a love with photography for a lot of years. And in the pizza company, they have a whole wall with a very extensive camera collection.
Wow.
New cameras, very old cameras. So that's one more little kind of quirky thing you can see down there at the Reed Spring Pizza Company.
It's got a lot of character. You can see that whole wall just filled with stuff.
Only open 6 years.
That's amazing.
USA Today has taken notice.
And we know the pizza's good. I tried it. The one with the pepperonis on it, the huge pepperonis.
They shared some with us. It's tasty, but it's nice to see Reed Spring getting some fair play
worth a drive down there for sure.
It is, you bet, you bet.
Well, Jamie is joining us now. He's got an update on the cold weather that is coming back again, Jamie.
That's right. Literally only hours left of this warm streak of weather that we've been in the midst of since the beginning of the week, coming to a crashing halt by around sunrise on Thursday. Record lows, record low highs, even some snow possible in your forecast, and I'll have it for you coming up.
And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
Well, I keep showing you the temperatures because the temperatures are still so nice to see, right, and feel. It's in the 60s and 70s across the Ozarks. You can see that gradient, though, in temperatures that marks the boundary between the warm and the cold. Cold front through Chanute, it's already in the low 50s and down to 43 in Emporia. And along and behind that front, we've got a little shower and thunderstorm activity. If you were kind of watching the western sky this evening as the sun was setting, you could see the towers being backlit. And when I say towers, I mean showers and thunderstorms being backlit by the sun as it was going down. And here's where that activity has really been focusing, right across eastern Kansas. We've had a few showers and thunderstorms try to develop to the north, though, along and north of Highway 54. That front located right about in here, and it will slowly make its way southeast as we head through the overnight hours. Now, as we kind of broaden out this view just a little bit, you can see this activity. But notice most of the wet weather, including some snow, is actually located further west into Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska. We've got this band of showers right there. That's actually behind the cold front. The cold front is located right about in this zone right here, cutting back into parts of Oklahoma. So most of the precipitation actually lagging the cold front, and that's going to be the case for us here in the Ozarks as well. The front's going to go through, and we're not going to see much in the way of activity on Thursday. A few showers, yes, but not much. It'll be Thursday night into Friday. That's when the wet weather will really take hold across the Ozarks. When I say wet, the rain's going to set in, and it's going to stay with us, I think, through much of the night, Thursday night into Friday. And again, that possibility for a changeover to some snow for some. Let's show you hour by hour. The front by morning located right about in here, and it will be along and behind that front that we have a shot at a few showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder, at least near the front. The front will continue to drift toward the southeast, a few showers possible along the front, but the bulk of the activity will occur again in the wake of that front. I think by early evening is when that band of heavier precipitation begins to make its way into western Missouri and northwest Arkansas. And again, it will set in and stay with us through much of the night, Thursday night into Friday morning. And as the atmosphere cools upstairs, there will likely be a changeover to some wet snow, at least for our friends along and west of Highway 49. It could make it as far east as Highway 65. We're just going to have to monitor those trends here over the next 24 hours. Not out of the question that we couldn't get some wet snowflakes here in the Springfield area, but I think further east it's going to be a tougher thing for that to happen. The rain likely will be with us into Friday before it begins to pull east and taper off as we head into Friday afternoon. And with that band of rainfall, there will likely be some fairly big totals, maybe on the order of 1 to 2 inches, with possible amounts as high as 3 inches. But pinpointing exactly where that band is going to be setting up, a little tough to do right now. It looks like the best chances would be east of Highway 65, maybe closer to Highway 63. So watch that closely. The other big story is the temperatures and how they change. By morning, the front will be through Springfield. Temperatures will be dropping. We'll say a morning high at 7 o'clock of around 52, but temperatures will hold steady or fall through the 40s into the low 40s by the end of the day, and then into the mid-30s overnight Thursday night. And guess what? With the clouds and the rain, temperatures aren't going to be allowed to warm hardly at all on Friday. How about that? Upper 30s and low 40s for highs on Friday. What is that, May the 3rd? That's pretty unusual. Temperatures running, a solid, looks like a solid 30 degrees below normal, at least as far as the highs are concerned. 52 overnight tonight for the low. Again, that will be tomorrow's high here in Springfield. Temperatures falling through the 40s. Gusty northwest winds, too, will make it seem even colder out there. The cold and the clouds and the wet through Friday. Maybe that change over to a little wet snow west of Highway 65 in the morning. Saturday, showers likely again. We may not make it out of the 40s on Saturday. And then Sunday, that low begins to pull away. Temperatures begin to moderate, and we should be back up to where we should be for this time of the year by Tuesday of next week.
So not even the chance for snow, but the cold's the real big story here.
It will definitely be cold, it will definitely be wet, and there will be a chance that the rain could turn over to some snow, at least west of Highway 65 by Friday morning.
Get out the coats again.
I guess so.
Thanks, Jamie.
Time against him and hits this one deep into right field. Brancourt will go back, and that one is gone.
The Kansas City Royals were fighting to stay in first place.
Dan Lucy is coming up in sports with highlights from the K and afternoon fun for the St. Louis Cardinals. That's next.
Off the bat of
Now, the Chevy Dealer Sports Report with Dan Lucy.
The Drury Panthers played their last regular season home games this evening against Southwest Baptist. Drury handed the baseball coaching reins officially to Scott Nasby last weekend as Panthers looking for their 32nd win of the season against the Bearcats in game one of the doubleheader. SBU limping into the game on a 2-game losing skid. 1-1, fifth inning. Drury ready to go. Tyler Abma on the hill, and he would get SBU's Bo Helsel to strike out swinging there. Bottom of the fifth inning, Nick Temish would smoke this one pass first into right. Colton Jones comes in to score, and the Panthers were up 2-1. Same inning, more Drury. Peyton Reed with the double into the right field corner. Temish scores. The Panthers win game one 3-1, and the nightcap 6-0. Kansas City Royals continue their homestand tonight at the K. The Royals had an opportunity to move into sole possession of first place in the American League Central, but they needed to beat Tampa. Tigers lost to the Twins this afternoon. That dropped Detroit into a tie for first with the Royals in the Central, but Kansas City would fall behind early. Matt Joyce would open the game last night with a homer, and he did it again tonight, taking Luis Mendoza deep to right into the KC bullpen. That's a solo shot. His 6th of the year, 1-0 Tampa. Next batter, Ben Zobrist. And he does the same thing. A rocket to right into the bullpen. That's back-to-back jacks, and that makes it 2-0 Rays. Kansas City tried to rally in the bottom half. Alex Gordon with the drive to left center, but Tampa's Desmond Jennings would make the shoestring catch right here, much to the relief of Jeremy Hellickson. The Rays were up 5-0, but Kansas City would rally 6-5 Tampa, 6th inning, 2 outs. Eric Hosmer grounds to short. Escobar bobbles it. Salvador Perez makes it 6-6. Then Lorenzo Cain bloops this one to short left. It drops in. Alcides Escobar scores. Kansas City is up 7-6, and Kansas City wins. It just went final 9-8. Royals are now 15-10. They'll wrap up their series with Tampa tomorrow afternoon. Irvin Santana slated to start in that one. St. Louis Cardinals also in action this afternoon. Cards wrapping up their series with Cincinnati and their homestand. St. Louis sending Lance Lynn to the hill looking for a second straight win. The Cardinals going into the game in first place in the NL Central, half game in front of both the Brewers and the Pirates. Lance Lynn, that would be Springfield class of 2009, trying to become the National League's first 5-game winner. He opens up the game by striking out the Reds' Shin-Soo Choo, scoreless into the 4th. Carlos Beltran deep to right. This one would stay fair, and it's gone, a solo home run, and it was a 1-0 St. Louis lead. The Reds, though, would tie it up in the 6th inning. Brandon Phillips would slice this one to right center. It's a double that scores Joey Votto 1-1. Cards retake the lead in the bottom half. Pete Kozma singles to left, and Yadier Molina makes it 2-1. Daniel Descalzo follows with a single to right, scoring Matt Carpenter. It was 3-1. 9th inning, Edward Mujica in for the save, but Phillips would take him into the bullpen and left. That would make the score 4-2, but it didn't affect Mujica. He slams the door. Cardinals win 4-2, so the Cards now 16-11, 5 games above 500. We'll start a 6-game road trip at Milwaukee tomorrow. The 2011 Texas League Player of the Year, Matt Adams, will make an encore appearance at Hammons Field this weekend. The St. Louis Cardinals sending the slugging first baseman to Double-A on a rehab assignment. Adams has a strained right oblique, eligible to come off the disabled list on Tuesday. He's been throwing and fielding ground balls at Busch before the games, but the Cardinals want him to see some live pitching before he rejoins the squad. Adams will join Springfield Friday at Northwest Arkansas and then return to Hammons for the weekend series against Tulsa. Speaking of the Springfield Cardinals, they pounded Northwest Arkansas this afternoon, helped Seth Blair win his first game of the year. Springfield scored 4 in the 3rd, and then in the 9th, Xavier Scruggs continued his hot hitting. That drive to center, his 8th homer of the year. That ties him for first in the Texas League, and Springfield goes on to win 9-3. So Matt Adams in town this weekend, if we can get Jamie to keep the rain away.
All right, well, we'll see. Maybe some snow too, Dan. All right, thanks a lot.
We'll see about that. We'll talk to Jamie after this.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Color 10 News will continue in a moment.
You know, 10 years ago tomorrow we had a deadly tornado outbreak in the Ozarks. It was devastating, clearly, but tomorrow we got a whole different gamut we're talking about. We got some winter weather coming in.
Exactly. Really winter weather. It's not going to feel like May out there. We'll start off, I think, in the low 50s, temperatures dropping to the 40s, maybe a few showers throughout the day, but the bulk of the rain coming in Thursday night and Friday. And again, a changeover to snow possible, at least west of Highway 65, maybe Friday morning.
Something to watch. Thanks.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.